Welcome back to Data Cloud Now's live coverage of Snowflake Summit in Las Vegas, the world's largest data and AI conference. I'm now joined by Jepson Taylor, Chief AI Strategist for Dataiku. Jepson, really looking forward to this conversation. Always a pleasure having Dataiku on DCN. You know, AI is very much top of mind for most executives, no more so than in 2023, especially with Gen AI and LLMs. As the platform for everyday AI, Jepson, what are you noticing?
Yeah, I'm excited pleasure being here, by the way, Ryan. We're going to have a lot of fun. So before I dive into this question, I want to give the audience a preview of what Dataiku is. We've been around for 10 years. We are an AI platform company. We go from data to value. Sometimes the last mile is the most difficult. And everyday AI has been our tagline before ChatGPT. It feels very relevant now.
Right.
And then our NVIDIA partnership's also been a big priority before this showed up. So AI platform company. So what are executives thinking about? What's top of mind? Everyone's talking about it. CFOs are talking about it.
Right.
And I think that's fascinating because when has a CFO made AI a top 3 priority ever?
And it's very much top of the house, to your point.
Yeah, top of the house. Boards are talking about it. We see AI courses showing up for board members. It's 2023, I think is going to be a year that everyone's going to remember, but there are some issues. We had that thing that happened in the news with that lawyer that had some claims that were brought into the courtroom that were hallucinated and made up, and so you definitely want to be thinking about how do you roll out these systems, but how do you do it well?
Right.
How are you proactive? You don't want to say oops when you're doing something like this at scale.
And trust is essential.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned trust because we just came out with our RAFT framework, so reliability, accountability, fairness, and trust, which is interesting because if you go back in time, I've grown up in the AI space for the last 20 years, and it's kind of been a reckless industry, right? Like it's the Wild West. How did we ship AI models 10 years ago? Some quant person rolled it up in a script and threw it over the fence, and then they left the firm.
To your point, it has been kind of the Wild West. Now, top of mind for Fortune 500 companies.
Oh, yeah. And I think this is a wonderful thing. One of the things I was saying earlier today, every person in this room, how many people are in this room?
I'm looking out here, Jepson. I'm probably 10, 12,000.
Yeah. So every person in this room needs to know how to scope an AI opportunity. That doesn't mean they need to know how to use Snowflake and Dataiku and jump in and roll up their sleeves, but they need to know how to raise their hand to say, I think my process, I think the unit of work that I'm working on could be helped with AI, and that's really exciting.
I think now, ever more so important is data literacy, to your point, and understanding how can this help us get to, point 2 and point 3.
Well, and I think you'll like this come from the Snowflake side, because I've loved AI, it's been my life.
Right.
But would I rather have a better model or better data? I'm going to give that one to you. I'd rather have better data.
Right.
Desperately.
Right.
But you can see that some of these people coming into the industry early on, there's this fascination with AI. Like if you asked me that question 9 years ago, I'd probably want a better model, something more quanti, more technical, but data's everything. And I'm thrilled about the announcement with Snowflake and NVIDIA. I've been a huge NVIDIA fan for a long time, and I love that these two great companies are coming together.
An exciting announcement yesterday. Jepson, now I want to pull it back to Dataiku and your customers. How are these generative AI use cases, enabling your customers to do more?
Yeah, so generative AI, a lot of people think about it with some of the text examples you see online, being able to write a tricky email more elegantly or summarize different text data sets. We see a lot more than that. So Dataiku, we just released our generative AI use case library with 16 use cases last week. We're planning on expanding that.
We're going to go for a handheld for you, Jepson, but keep going.
Oh, fantastic. So we announced last week, we released our generative AI use case library. We have 16 use cases in there.
Congratulations.
And some of the use cases they'll surprise you. Predictive, preventable maintenance. Really the big thing that's happening right now is you can begin to interact with the computer like you might task a person.
Right.
You can ask it natural language questions. I heard someone say that English is now the most powerful programming language, or it's going to be.
Right.
That's happening soon. So Dataiku is really embracing the generative AI, and we do that a few ways. We obviously can interact with APIs. We support large language models internally if you want to do some fine tuning. I did like that Jensen said you get a 95% discount if you're using something pre-trained, because training it from zero, that's expensive. Few companies will do that, but hopefully most companies benefit from pre-trained.
You know, and I think it's exciting because, you know, as you mentioned, this is now going to completely open up the door to non-technical folks, and I think that's such an exciting chapter with this.
Well, and I like that you brought up the non-technical folks, because maybe this is me being a little too honest, but I used to come from the very heavy quantity side, and there was a bit of a siloing effect where maybe I didn't have as much respect for the business, and now having gone through mistakes and issues that didn't work, I desperately want to enable the business side. And I think one of the beautiful things we're seeing in industry, some of the biggest ideas are coming from junior people.
Right.
Which is that's not intuitive, right? You think best ideas come from your smartest people. I think the best ideas come from democratization.
And that's very much, to your point, collaboration happening in real time.
It's a team sport.
Right.
Right. And I think that's why Dataiku and Snowflake, we see each other as a team in partnership with NVIDIA. We got to work together. We have different expertise. You can't know everything.
And that's very much, you know, that's the definition of a true partnership.
Yeah.
You know, Jepson, I want to take a step back. You know, as chief AI strategist, what should executives and companies be doing now in order to be successful for the next months to years to come?
So I think one of the most important things, a lot of executives are using GPT-4 on a daily basis. So for anyone watching this right now, if you haven't signed up for the paid version of GPT-4, you as a leader should do that. You should really understand the capabilities, be thinking about it. Democratization is key. We see AI going across companies, multiple departments, interoperability. You want to have AI and data strategies that can live on top of whichever hyperscaler is pushing the gas the most, you want to have a multi-cloud strategy, and then you do want to benefit from bringing your own model. You don't want to train stuff from scratch.
You know, Jepson, as you mentioned, you know, we look out on the show floor, thousands of people walking around. An exciting announcement coming yesterday in relation to the Snowflake and Dataiku partnership. You know, ML and AI Partner of the Year 3 years in a row. I mean, I have to ask, what does this mean to the collective team, and why is this partnership so pivotal for Dataiku and the corporate strategy?
It's huge. The team is very excited about this. If you win Partner of the Year once, you got lucky. Twice, very lucky. Three is the magic number.
You went for the three-peat.
Yeah, hat trick, right? So 3 is the magic number. It means something. And I became aware of Dataiku before I joined them, where they were named.
Right.
I really like Snowflake, and they're named AI ML Partner of the Year. And understanding how Snowflake does the decision criteria, it's not because we go golfing together. It's because of crossing the finish line.
Right.
We're driving the most applied compute, the most successful outcomes. And so we're very excited. You know, we want to fight like hell to win the 4th in a row. That'd be iconic.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're thrilled.
You know, I was honored to be on stage to present that award last night. So an exciting next chapter for Dataiku. Jepson, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on Data Cloud Now.
Oh, absolutely, Ryan, such a blast.
We're looking forward to more conversations in the future, Jepson.
Yeah, hopefully in Utah.
Sounds great. Count me in. For the audience watching, I'm Ryan Green with Data Cloud Now. We'll see you in the next update.
Thanks, everyone.